Statistics say 1 in 10 women are affected by endometriosis, but that could be hugely underestimating the problem. It's a chronic inflammatory disease that can have a drastic impact on people's quality of life.
Here to tell us about her experiences, Nikita Clarke and her mother Angela, alongside doctor and women's health specialist Caoimhe Hartley. Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Nikita, Angela, great to have you both with us. We'll get to your story in a minute because I'm sure a lot of people saw this in the papers and the news last week, Nikita. But first of all, Caoimhe, can you just explain to us a bit about endometriosis for people who might not be aware of it?
Yeah, so as you've mentioned, it's a chronic inflammatory condition. And basically what happens is we see cells in tissue that resemble the cells in tissue that line the womb. That's called your endometrium, outside of the womb. So in your pelvis typically, but they can actually occur anywhere in your body. And the causes for this are poorly understood. We don't really know why women develop endometriosis. There may be genetic factors, but we're not sure.
And what are the symptoms? They're varying. Are they wide-ranging?
They are. I mean, they're highly individual. That's one of the challenges. So no two women with endometriosis are the same. They won't have the same symptoms. Some women have no symptoms. They're totally asymptomatic. Typically, women will report pelvic pain, maybe chronic pelvic pain, cyclic pelvic pain that just happens with their periods, painful periods. Heavy bleeding is really common too, maybe back pain, painful sex. And then for some women, they might get bowel symptoms or pain with emptying their bowels, going to the toilet, pain with peeing, chronic fatigue, different things. So it's highly individual.
OK. And it's amazing, 1 in 10 women have this. So it is a lot more common than you think.
That's what the statistics say, but it's probably really underdiagnosed.
Oh, yeah. Really? OK. Yeah. And because it's so hard to diagnose?
Yeah, for lots of different reasons, yeah.
Nikita, listen, this is something you suffered with up until very recently, which is amazing. But can you tell us when you first started to have symptoms and think that this may be endometriosis?
Well, when I look back at it, it kind of started when I was 10. I was having very heavy, painful periods, but I just thought every woman goes through it. That's normal, so I didn't say anything. And then when I was 14, I started going to the hospital with stomach pains, and they took out my appendix, and they thought that was the problem. But after getting them removed, I was told it's not an important organ, it didn't need to come out, but it's okay.
OK, because they were like, it's not the appendix, they weren't inflamed.
Yeah.
So what else? You were 14 years old, you're still in a lot of pain.
Kept going back and forth to the hospital, and I was told everything under the sun, fibromyalgia, celiac, Crohn's, and obviously I was going back and looking online what exactly was Crohn's, and I was saying that all these horrible stuff, and I was panicking even more. And then I was eventually told that there's nothing medically wrong with me to go and see a psychiatrist, that's what the problem was.
That it's just in your head. This started so when you're 10 years of age. Angela, for you as a mother to see your daughter probably go downhill more and more with this, and up until the stage just a few months ago, Christmas time, pretty much crippled, couldn't move, couldn't stand up.
She was in a wheelchair from Christmas, and she'd have to sleep with a load of pillows piled up and sit like that and fall asleep that way.
Sorry, so this is because your pain was so bad, Nikita?
So bad she couldn't lie down.
Yeah.
You couldn't lie down?
I couldn't lie down, I couldn't brush my own hair, I couldn't shower, I couldn't do anything.
And you're told it's just in your head?
Yeah.
Angela, when you're told that your daughter's saying this is in her head, you gave up your job?
I gave up my job and I wasn't able to work. I had to do everything for her. But the doctors we went to, pain management, we were a year and a half there, and it worked a little bit, but not a lot. But then your daughter's crying to you, saying, "Mum, please help me." All you can do is give her a hot water bottle. Paracetamol's not doing anything, not killing the pain. But in my head, it's like, I'm trying to help her, but I'm not helping.
I know for the symptoms, you're told to go to your GP, to go and consult with them. What did you do, Nikita?
We were going, it got to a point where I was going to the GP at least once a week, trying to get answers, trying to get referred to places, and I was referred to a gynecologist. And then that's when I brought up endometriosis, and they said, you do have signs, but you're very young, so I don't think you have endometriosis. And they just kept saying that. They told me to get the coil put in. 2 weeks later, the coil was put in. I've been asking them to get the coil taken out, and they keep saying 6 months, 6 months.
Because the coil, people can react to the coil very differently. It can be very, very painful for an awful lot of people. Caoimhe, this is not to put any spotlight on anyone in particular, but is that something that maybe medical practitioners are told, that being 18 is too young to have endometriosis? Is that such a thing?
I mean, once you're having periods, so endometriosis can affect anybody once they're having periods. So it's throughout your reproductive life. So there's no age limit, you know, that you can't be diagnosed at if you're menstruating.
Okay.
One of the difficulties, like if you look internationally, we don't have great data for time to diagnosis in Ireland, like as in how long from when your symptoms develop till you get a diagnosis. Internationally, it's about 8 years on average.
8 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so at this stage, we're at 8 years with you, Nikita, from 10, when you were first displaying symptoms, getting your period at such a young age. You're going around your apartment with a walker or a wheelchair. Angela, you're borrowing wheelchairs because she's so bad. You've given up your job because she needs so much help.
When I went for a wheelchair for Nikita to go to Romania, I was told it'd be 8 months waiting to get her. So I borrowed one off a friend of mine.
So let's talk about Romania. Why you couldn't get the diagnosis here? You've had MRIs. They say that you're too early for endometriosis. Why all of a sudden, Nikita, are you going to Romania?
I was on social media and I seen Senator Maria McCormick talking about endometriosis in the Shannon. So my mum reached out to Mary Lou and she put us in contact with Senator Maria, and we kind of had a meeting with her in Leinster House, and we met with a girl called Jess who also had endometriosis, and they gave us a few doctors. We did our own research, and Romania seemed like the best choice because he has his own endometriosis centre.
Wow. And the research that you do into this, I mean, what is it that they offer that you can't have here in Ireland?
Well, they have a whole team of people who are fully trained. So, like a multidisciplinary team.
Yeah.
So if you go in and you have endometriosis on your bowel or your bladder, which it grows everywhere, they have the team there ready for you.
Okay, so you hadn't been to, you're in Leaving Cert and you couldn't go to school last year because the pain was so bad. So you've been out of school. You decided to get the money. You asked your parents, you took out a loan. How much?
We went to the credit union and got a loan of 10,000.
10,000.
And cross-border does cover for the operation.
Okay, so
that's it.
cross-border, yeah, this is
That's
the
it.
system within the healthcare system, so that you can actually go to other countries to get.
Yeah, yeah.
So when did you go to Romania?
Our first trip was in May, and within an hour I was told I have endometriosis, nerve compression and adenomyosis.
Within an hour from an MRI?
Yeah.
The MRI was done differently over there than the one in Smithfield.
Why? How?
There was a lot of bowel prep, starving, that,
Night before.
and then a dye was put in, and that doesn't happen well, it hasn't happened for me over here.
How did that feel to be, you were sent to a psychiatrist for a couple of years, told it was all in your head?
It was horrible. I keep looking back and it was like we'd sit in a room for anywhere from an hour to 5 hours, and I would be told, how do you feel? And obviously I was depressed, and I would say, I'm depressed, and they would say, oh, you're in pain because you're depressed. No, I'm depressed because I'm in pain.
And you're overweight.
I'm overweight, that's the issue. Like everything but endometriosis.
You had the surgery over there.
Yeah.
Is that 3 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. I mean, we're just seeing the clips of you there walking around the hospital or being pushed around the hospital. You must feel like you're a different person. I mean, how amazing was it whenever you woke up from the surgery?
I remember waking up, and when you have endometriosis, you're so used to over-analysing every inch of your body. And I woke up and I looked at my body, okay, how does it feel? And there was nothing, not even this normal pain that I felt. It was all gone.
That quickly?
Yeah.
And how are you, so you went over there in a wheelchair. You were using a walker as an 18-year-old woman who had to give up school. What's life been like for you in just 2 weeks?
It's so different. I was excited to just get home, and even to have a shower myself was like, it feels weird still, but I'm excited now for the future. Like, I can actually look at the future and be like, I can go get a driver's license, I can go to school, I can get a job. I'm not wondering, oh, can I have kids when I'm older, or will I have to get a bowel taken out, or a bladder taken out, or a kidney removed?
And she keeps saying to me, Mum, will you stop looking and smiling? I'm like, I'm so proud of you. Like, she's walking again.
So in the surgery, what would have happened, Caoimhe, for Nikita?
So I don't know, obviously, specifically what happened in your surgery, Nikita, but in general, there's different types of surgery that can be done for endometriosis. There's diathermy or ablation, where they cauterise and burn off the deposits of little bits of endometriosis they can see, or there's excisional surgery, where they actually go in and remove the endometrial deposits that are there.
And what happened for you?
I had nerve decompression and endometriosis removed from my uterus.
So you're walking. You're gone back to school.
I'm going back today.
You're going back today?
Yeah.
You're going back today to do your leaving cert?
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations.
Thank
Honestly,
you.
it's phenomenal. And listen, obviously we don't want anybody to have to go to Romania to have what you had to do. I know I did ask the HSE about this, that most women with endometriosis can be treated by their GP, though some will need further care at hospital level. They also confirmed that the National Endometriosis Framework is expected to start in 2025. Waiting times have improved by the end of 2024. But at the same time, what they were offering you has not worked, and you did have to go abroad. You had to raise your own money to go and do this. But isn't it absolutely worth every penny? I mean, from
like, she's just a sample of like one woman. Like,
I'm one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, there's hundreds of women out there in so much pain still to this day.
What would you like to say to the people in charge at the HSE, Nikita?
There needs to be change. This can't keep happening. I'm not the only 18-year-old, and I certainly will not be the last to have to go through this.
Listen, as you said, Caoimhe, we think it's undiagnosed. 1 in 10 women in the country, you think it's underdiagnosed?
Underdiagnosed, yeah.
Underdiagnosed. Yeah. If anything has struck with you today, please reach out to your GP and think about this. It mightn't be this, but please go to your medical professional if you've got any health concerns. Nikita Clarke, it's incredible to see you looking like this and happy and smiling. It's amazing.
You might get a move on. You're meant to be in school in half an hour.
Angela Healy, thank you so much for joining us with your fabulous daughter. And as always, Caoimhe Hartley, thank you so much for coming in, Women's Health Specialist.